Hey everyone, this is Randy from BibleBuyingGuide.com. I have my window open, so you might hear some birds out there singing. Today I'm reviewing the ESV Journaling Study Bible from Crossway, and I asked for the natural leather brown flap with strap. So we'll take a look and see how that looks. So it has a 2-inch ruled margins, 12,000 study notes, 80,000 cross-references, 80 plus maps and illustrations, 10 topical articles, 120 Bible character profiles, 900 Bible facts, and a glossary. Now this is the Student Study Bible minus 5 topical articles. Other than that, it's exactly the same Bible, same pagination. The only difference is they've added wider outer margins, and then they've made a couple of graphical tweaks. But other than that, it's the same Bible. So if you have that, then you already are familiar with this content. So here's what the brown leather looks like. And they call it natural leather. And the reason they call it natural leather is that it is not a finished leather. So it's rugged on the back side. It's just rough cut. It comes with a strap that you can install. And you can see I've already got a couple of scratches on the leather with my thumbnail and fingernails, what little I've got. But it shows you how to install the strap. Now the strap, it does show it longer in the instructions. It shows it wrapping around 3 times and then coming up and having enough area, but mine doesn't wrap that far. And mine's not long enough to wrap, but it's good enough. But here's what the strap looks like, just to get an overall idea of the size of this thing. I actually remember this time. It is 8 inches by 8.5 inches by 1.5 inches, and then it weighs 3 pounds, 5.8 ounces. So I don't have to get all the tools out. It is paste down liner. This is rugged, very thick. That's a thick board right there, and it's just glued onto the rough cut leather, so it's not folded over or not glued or sewn or anything like that. So nothing printed on the front. And then there's the spine. Everything is debossed in. It looks good and it feels good. I like that. It is a little stiff, but then once you get past that stiffness, and then it's got a few thick end sheets in the front to give it structure. Smythe sewn, of course. Once you get past that, it stays open, no trouble. It's got a little pen holder, and I'm using a Micron 005 in black. White edges, white page edges. This is made in China with 30 GSM paper. I was kind of surprised by the 30 GSM. I expected a little thicker, but at the same time, it's not terrible. It's easy enough to turn. Could be a little bit more opaque under certain lighting. In some lighting, I didn't even notice any show through at all. So here is the content. Old and New Testament. Then we've got articles and resources, maps and supplement, and then charts and diagrams. There are lots of them in here. Character profiles, illustrations. So it's got a lot of material. Introduction to this Bible to show how to use it. There's our 2-inch outer margin, and it is ruled with dots, and they're printed on the right side but not on the left side. Preface to the ESV. Overview of the Bible. It has several different introductions. This is an overall Bible introduction. Then we have an Old Testament introduction and a New Testament introduction in the New Testament. And that gives us some charts and maps and timelines and things along that line. And then an introduction to each book of the Bible. And each individual book has a small timeline with information about the author, the theme, and the key verses, the key themes. And it does include some scripture. And there are 1 or 2 pages. Some include an outline and a map. Some are more simple than this and don't include this. So it's a little bit imbalanced from one book to another. Some do include more information. And then our basic design is that we have a 2-column paragraph layout with an 8-point font. It's not printed with line matching, but the show-through isn't bad, and it's only noticeable where the lines don't match. Show-through's not bad at all. And then we have our commentary at the bottom of the page in 2 columns. So we have several different things. We have commentary on the text, and this is from the ESV Study Bible, but it's a reduced information that matches the Student Study Bible. It's the same thing. From a Reformed point of view, it is Crossway, so they're Reformed. And then we have biblical facts And those are printed with a tan background. And then at the bottom we have our cross references. Footnotes are under the text, and they span both columns. I haven't made a lot of notes in this, but I made a note, so I will show it to you here just a little bit. Get an idea of the show through. It does have a little bit of show through, but it's not terrible. So there's a genealogy. So lots of little charts and maps all throughout. And it doesn't have commentary on every verse or anything like that. It is reduced even from the regular ESV Study Bible. So not terribly fewer, but it does have fewer. The Study Bible has more like 4,000 more, something like that. So I'll thumb through here and see if I can find a few little charts and things. It does have a pretty good bit of space between the lines. Even though it's an 8-point font with about 10 words per line, it's still easy to read. That's because of that white space in the text. Here's poetry. Now, it does have a lot of poetic lines with a single word. So it's not the prettiest poetry. They needed a little bit more space. They needed more like 12 or 14 words per line. There's a table. So here's a larger chart with an illustration. There are not a lot of illustrations in there, but there are a few. A little bit difficult to find. Of course, we do have an index. There's an index in the front to show where they are. So here's the New Testament introduction with a New Testament timeline, and then the book of Matthew with its introduction. And this is a black letter edition. There's the words of Christ in black. Verse numbers are large and bold, so they're easy to find at a glance. There's another illustration. There are a couple illustrations that take both pages, and they also have the white outer margin. They only take the text portion area. I like these, the biblical facts, the Bible facts. That's my favorite feature. There's one of the 2-page illustrations. Another chart. I like these introductions. There's one of the maps on the back side of that one. So I'll show you how it looks with a note. So here is a note with my Pigma Micron using a 005. Just don't pay attention to my handwriting. And then here's what it looks like on the back side of the page. Then in the back we have articles and resources. So there are 10 articles. Plan of salvation. Most are about the Bible itself, the importance of the church for growing in Christ, the authority of the Bible. It's one of my favorite articles. And they teach what the Bible is, how to read and understand the Bible, which is what this one is. How to apply the Bible in daily life. That's a good article. Christian doctrine. So there's some theology in here. Like all study Bibles, use it for research or use it for study and do your own study. Ethics. Here's a glossary, about a 15-page glossary. And this is the major biblical words that we'll hear. A lot of times people will use these words but not really explain them. So it's good to have them in a glossary. And it does include some theology in here. It's a good glossary. I like this. Then what table of weights and measures, and then the concordance. This is a good concordance. It's got a lot of material in it. A lot of information. It does have names, places. So here's how many entries it has for God. So that's quite a bit. Godliness, godly, gods. So quite a bit there. This is good for study. There's the information about the contributors. Shows who contributed to each book and the consultants, articles, colophon, and then our maps. Now these are printed on non-glossy paper. I'm under direct light, so if you see any shine at all, there's a light shining right on this. So it's on that thick paper, and it's the standard ESV colors, which are a subdued color, and they include places, of course, routes, distance, different possibilities for the Exodus route, kingdoms, all the borders and things, territories. So there are 15 maps. And then we have another really thick end sheet there. And that is it. That is the Journaling Study Bible. Now, I don't have the Student Study Bible to compare to. I do have the ESV Study Bible. So I might as well show you that one, see how it compares in size and all of that. Just to get a quick idea. So if you're familiar with one, it will help you understand the size of the other. So I'm just going to turn at a random page. So the ESV Study Bible is a single column paragraph versus the double column paragraph of the Journaling Study Bible. So there's how they compare. Just to get an idea of the font size. So here's how Ezekiel compares. And they're really hard to compare side by side. But just to get an idea of the content, we have a lot more pages for the regular study Bible. And then in the Student Study Bible, we have a page and a half for the introduction versus 7 pages in the regular study Bible. And this one will make it a little bit easier to compare one page to the other. So there is page 1, verses 1 through 16, and verses 1 through 10. So this gives you an idea of the content on the pages. So if you can see that well, then you can see the difference in commentary. So it does give you an idea that, you know, the ESV Study Bible is jam-packed, while the Student Study Bible is smaller and is a better choice if you just need something to carry around. And it's also a better choice if you just need some basics. I like that one. That's a good one. So that is my quick look at the Journaling Study Bible from Crossway in the ESV. That is a good little study Bible. The paper could be a little thicker, and that's really about it. Other than that, I think I don't think that will be a problem for most people, to be honest. If you write really hard, or if you need a lot more information than what is here, then this might not be the Bible for you. But other than that, I think it's a really good version of the ESV Study Bible. I'm glad that they did it in the Student Bible, because you don't always need that much information with you. And this is a Bible you can carry. While the Study Bible is a little bit large for carry, I think this one's a better choice for carry. So that is my quick look. I will place some links in the notes so that you can make a purchase if you're interested. And also, I'll place links to the written review at BibleBuyingGuide.com, where I always go into more detail. And Crossway did supply this in exchange for an honest review. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks.